Okay, hello. Uh, Day two of raid testing has just finished up. Went so on Blizzard's side it went smoother, but on our side it did. I had a rough start. So I got a lot to say, and I'm doing it right after. Sorry, I'm doing it right after raid testing, so thoughts are still in my head. We'll go through the video. This one will be a little bit longer than the last one, I think, just because there's three bosses, and we tested all three. So I have a bunch to say, and we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, I'm also doing this before having dinner, so that I have a little bit of incentive to speed through. So let's get into it. The first boss we tested was one that we had saw a little bit yesterday. And don't mind me as I'm going through and pull up some notes. That was Nexus Princess Ky'Veza. And I think this boss might be a little overtuned. I don't know what anyone else's thoughts are, but like our group thought it was overtuned. So yeah, quickly our difference today was that um, we were not able to get a group together fully. We had a few people, so we were kind of chatting Discord and whatnot, and I was going over the fight, but I was not the lead of the group. We ended up plugging into someone else's group. And it was we lucked out. It was a really chill group. No one was like mean or anything. So I feel like we kind of lucked out on that one, finding this group and getting in. So um, yeah, thanks to them, we were actually able to test. I was a little bit worried that day one was gonna kind of end, and I feel like that's kind of been the case with the last few times that I've done raid testing. Like first day goes well, second day for some reason something happens, and I'm not able to test. Usually it's my brain just kind of exploding and yeah. But um we were able to today, so all good. Um yeah. So go through the footage. Um First poll, so they had already done a poll or two when we had got into the group. And so they had kind of put down some markers. I will eventually move so you can see. Um, there we go. Now you can see the markers. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, but you see the markers there. You'll see it again when we actually do the thing we're doing. But we do a pull. There's the markers around. So the idea is on this fight, there's a lot going on. Hang on. No, that just makes it worse. Okay.
3, 2,
So
1.
yeah, we're doing this and bring it over to Skull, and I turn my sound down a little bit here. So the tank gets a stack. It's four. It's not one hit. It's four. So that's 100% increased damage. So you want to do a swap right after that. It's really rough to live it, and then you have the rift. So I went the wrong way, but what we're doing is actually going between Skull and Blue, and then the balls go through the center of the room, and then we move the boss there. I'm gonna turn it down just a tiny bit. Oh, okay. I have no idea how loud that's gonna end up being for you, but um, oh, the sound cuts out from the game. That's right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, some recording issues, I guess. But yeah, those are just like the big nether rifts that happen. Those things hurt a lot. Yeah, it was too loud for me too. I when I was doing that. So yeah, so the idea is to go from skull, and then you're gonna go over. I'm gonna fast forward through this. And then I'm just clarifying some stuff. Oh yeah, you can't. That's right. You can't chat. Yeah, I'm just in the middle of clarifying what the strat is. And going through. Incorporate to pull. Okay. We're doing another pull, and it's going to be a little bit more straightforward. And then after this, I'll fast forward to closer to the end when you can see a little bit more of the fight. We can kind of go over it. So yeah, we're going from to the skull, and then people are getting some rift things on them. They bring those circles out that are on them over to the marked areas. And then the idea is to position them in a spot where they all kind of negate each other. So it's like so the center of the room, all the pulls kind of negate. And the tanks get, and one of the tanks get the last one. Whoever has the boss gets that last rift. And then as soon as that last rift goes down, it is time to move. So kind of being in between blue and whatnot, that helps. But eventually what we end up doing is going, so it'll be rift goes down, pull boss in between two of them. Yeah, the blades are really rough to avoid. But then pull the boss into the middle of the room afterwards, and then back to skull. For a little while, we were leaving the boss in the middle of the room, and that seemed to be okay. But at the end, it seems going to skull is there. The tanks, it hurts the tank getting hit. But also, we're scaled to like 597, and I feel like 597 is absolutely not where you want to be for heroic. The hardest part, so once you kind of get everything down for the first phase, is not bad. It's not too bad. You're spreading out, you're positioning everything places, you're avoiding the dagger, you're avoiding the lines. Those are a little bit rough. It's this part here on heroic. This is only heroic. Well, heroic, but this isn't our normal. This is heroic, and these pie slices are the worst. I found that the best thing to do is to follow the one and to pick one and follow it that's moving away from you. And if you do that, it's not too bad. The problem is when you get the line on you. So you need everyone to kind of spread out. So if you assign people to quadrants of the room, it makes it a little bit easier, or like halves of the room. So like one group's on one half, one group's on the other half. And then moving around that way, but its positioning is kind of random, so it makes it a little harder. Let's skip ahead a little bit. We have a lot to get through. Gonna try to find. Let's do this pull. I feel like this pull we have everything together a little bit more.
3, 2, 1.
And then we go to skull, starting there, and then we're gonna have blades going out. Yeah, we have the shred going out, and then taunt swap. Everyone goes and spreads with their circles, puts down the portals. Tank gets the last one. Coming out around now. There we go. Another rift's out. Moving the boss there. And now, moving out of the portal area and then moving into the middle of the room afterwards. I apologize, the quality is so low. I'm not sure why it's doing this. Not supposed to be recording this low quality, but alas, here we are. Oh, this is bad. Anyways, you see the daggers there. They're on the ground. They're going. I think I'm recording at a variable bitrate instead of constant. I'll have to double check that. I have the disk space. There's no in the graphics processing power. There's no reason I should be recording this slow. Hopefully the next testing videos will be better. I'm gonna I'm gonna up the quality a lot. But yeah, so I died. It is really, really hard to survive the tank mechanic. At least at this current like eye level and whatnot. If I was a little bit more, also like it occurred to me during the second boss we were testing that I picked the wrong role for raid testing. I like testing as tank, but also it's terrible because I'm trying to pay attention to everything else going on instead of my job. But yeah, here are the pie slices. And then it goes, we have 24 seconds of this. Just moving around the room. As long as you're careful. But the less people are alive, the more likely it is you're going to get a bunch of beams on you. At one point, I think I had like 4 beams on me. And then they all exploded and I died. And yeah, the Reaper mechanic is really, really tough. you hit that 10% health and it's just like you're just insta dead. You might as well just say you have 90% of your normal health. Because of that. Yeah, I think I'm chatting in Discord about it. As we're just kind of trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the strat for this here, and really in this boss. So this is one of those bosses where it's gonna be really tough to beat it, I think. But it's gonna feel really, really good when you do. Because like, I think I'm torn, because like I want to say the boss is overtuned. But also, this is kind of fun. You know, it's the right level of difficulty to like, you know, it's just like, all right, what can we tweak? What can we make better? What can we do? And it's just like, it's all about fine tuning everything. And that's kind of where we're at now. It's just like, we're not necessarily learning anything. We're just trying to fine tune everything. Okay, that's the other boss. So let's go to the beginning of this pull. I think this is the last pull. Yeah, we're at 58 minutes into recording. Yeah, this is the last pull. So let's watch the last pull. Yep, I'm taking a, yeah, we're talking about eye level, I believe, in Discord.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna trim the sound a tiny bit. There we go. So there are the four tank stacks. Okay, yeah, sorry, turn that a little bit so it's a little bit easier to hear. There we go.
Watch your step.
So now we're going. Moving boss. Balls out. Middle of room. There we go. Everyone's doing really well. And now, yeah, see the Phantom's doing the beam stuff, so that's pretty rough. I do wish that I had moved my camera a bit so I could see a little bit more in the video. There goes balls. Move. Yeah, moving there, and then going into mid. And then it goes, and then I die. I'm gonna get a res though. I believe. There goes blades. Yeah, it's the void. The shredders are so hard. Yeah, I got a res. Resing just before P2. Here we go into P2. And now I'm trying to get ahead of the beams. There we go. So now I have the line on me, and I'm running away. But see, someone else ends up in my line, so like I end up kind of pausing. Yeah. It's hard. It is so hard. And then I have a line now. I'm getting there. I got out in time, but then I put my line on someone else, and then a beam showed up. I shouldn't have stopped. I should have just kept going. I'd just been like, it's a you problem. And I would have lived through that, and that would have been fine. But following the beam in front of you is the way to go. And that was our last pull. People are still alive, though, so we'll just kind of keep going so we can see the fight. I think I'm just pointing the camera at this point so I can see everything. Yeah, there's that. We had a DK, so it was good to see there's the Phantoms go out. There they run. Or people have the, people have the thing on them. They turn blue. They run away. Explode.
Watch your step.
Yeah, it's the portal placements that are going to get people. It is 100% the hardest part of this is dealing with the portals, because they have a pull. It's not just portal placement, but then they pull you, and if you're not in the right spot, you're going to get pulled in by one of them, because it's hard. Even your movement, like, think Dathia pulling, but, like, worse. Like, way worse. It is so hard. So yeah, like, there's the Phantoms. I actually don't know that we can do much about the Phantoms. It doesn't seem like it. You just kind of have to live through it. So yeah, that's that fight. I think it's going to be. I think it's overtuned a little bit. Especially with the tank mechanics, but also 495 or 97 or whatever it is. Like less than 600 eye level is. I feel a little low for that. I feel like on normal it'll be much easier to live through. But overall, like it's a pretty straightforward fight as far as, especially given that it's like the third last boss. Um, Council fight of the raid is the second last boss, so I expect that one to be pretty difficult. But I feel like Nexus Princess Ky'Veza is like a good difficulty for where it is in the raid. Alrighty, that is that boss. Let's move on. Moving on to this one. And I think we just go on this one. So this is one where I had some questions about. So this one is, I'm just grabbing some notes. This one is Rasha'nan. So yeah, this one is the one that boss had spawns ads inside people. And I was wondering how that worked, and we kind of got to see. But there was a bunch of stuff that I didn't really get to see because I was tanking, because, yeah. So the tank mechanic on this one is not too bad. It's Savage Assault. You do kind of only, you can have two, but you kind of only want to have one. Let's fast forward ahead. Yeah, like as long as I'm not moving, the footage is fine. Yeah, I thought we pulled a lot sooner than this. Yeah, so the big soak. So we learned a few things. There's a bug in this fight. Oh, no, hang on. There we go. Yeah, there's a bug in this fight where the acid roll thing can go on the same, both of them. So rolling acid goes on two people, but there's a bug where it can go, where both can go on one person. It's a problem. Okay, so yeah, we have the erosive spray. I'm like getting in. There it goes out. My audio dropped. Okay, so some web zinger going out at the ends. People get web stuff on them. Yeah, so erosive spray is going out. That's just a lot of damage to just be healed through. Yeah, their healing ring's good. There's the waves. I chased after one by accident. But they both need to be on opposite sides of the raid.
Defensive.
Otherwise you get hit by it. But it actually isn't too bad for damage. Like, it's, you gotta heal, so it hurts. But if you have webbing on you, though, it's easy just to stand it. But it works exactly like the Heldia Waters, which is what I thought. So, there we go.
Defensive.
Okay, so popping my defensives, obviously I died. Still, I was kind of paying attention to a lot of other things at the same time. Some people are going to get some circles eventually, though, and those are going to have to be out. So, we go. So I like this fight, because, like, there's a lot of, like, moving around the platform, which is fun. So, like, the boss goes and lands once, and then the boss will jump up again and move again. Yeah, I'm just busy looking around. Because why bother paying attention to what else is going on, right? I'm not sure what I'm doing. I think I'm in the middle of a conversation. Okay, but yeah, we died on that one. I think it's our second or third pull where we do really well. So let's move. I mean, there isn't a whole lot to talk about this boss. This boss is pretty straightforward. We did pretty well. Didn't kill it because we ended up losing healers and whatnot. Our problem today was group stuff, and healers seem to be in short supply. And then we do get a healer and wipe. The healer just, one of our healers just left at one point for one of the bosses. Okay, there we go. Ah!
Five, four, three, 2,
Oh.
1.
Hang on, I didn't mean to. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we need to be pretty good with the taunts back and forth because they do hurt. And then people get some circles and they gotta run those out. And they explode and drop some web on the ground. And then some stuff hatches from inside the web, I believe.
Defensive.
But yeah. No. So yeah, really hard to tell. Again, tank perspective probably not the best for this. There we go. There's the acid roll. Rolling acid goes out like that. That's how it's supposed to be dropped on each side. And then some people get webs. So it looked like we DPS them down. A little bit hard to tell. Depending on how hard it is for groups, I'm hoping to get in to do some mythic testing. But we'll see. Because then it's a good chance to test this stuff again. Alright, there it goes. But I might go DPS Demon Hunter. Okay, now we're running. And then we interrupt the boss there. And then the boss flies away again. And then goes and does an attack thing. So now boss is going. There's some more web. We avoid all the stuff. Then we have to do interrupt. And then the boss lands again. So there are 2 interrupts to do.
Stack.
And then we gotta stack into there. And then there's a knockback when from the middle. Whichever direction you're facing, it goes. So like me, it blasts me forward because I was in the front part of it. But yeah, it's blasting you back from the middle. And then the rolling acid goes out again. I mean, it's pretty much the fight. It's pretty straightforward. For the most part. My only thing is just like with the webs on the side, it looks like we're DPSing them down. I have to take a closer look at the footage. This is the first time I'm looking at the footage because like I just gotten out of testing, so. And honestly, 3 hours is, oof, it's a lot. There goes the thing. We did have, we had one person who got it on them twice, so that was a problem.
Defensive.
Yeah, then we're going. I don't know how many more. I think this was our best pull. If we get the boss under 1 billion health, then it was our best pull. I think we got boss to 697 million. Yeah, there's more spray, so it does the damage. And there it goes. Yeah, boss is now flying away. Game got a little bit glitchy. But yeah, we got the interrupts down, and then I come and I taunt because our tank is dead, other tank is dead. Or I think they're dead. I can't tell. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the fight. There isn't a whole lot here to, there's not like a whole lot more. You have ads to kill that show up. Okay, so they did break from the web. Okay, so this is the only time that I've actually seen the ads, so let's see here.
Stack.
I'm trying to watch. Okay, so there's the stack. People are in there. We need more people to stack. We're good.
Defensive.
Are people getting webs? Spawn must feed. Those are the webs. People are running out. Okay, and then right away they burst out that time.
Defensive.
But yeah, so that's what that looks like. People go off to the side with their circles, and then they go. So the webs earlier, I think that's just, I don't think you DPS anything down. So the other webs earlier, you just go and drop those off, and it's just webbing on the ground. It's the sticky web stuff. Or whatever it's called. Yeah, so it's the green ones where they run off to the side, and then they just instantly hatch. But that was our best pull. We did pretty well. And then after that, it's just a lot of like our healers leave, and it's hard to do stuff. I think this pull did. I don't think we did very good this pull. I know we did some other pulls and they weren't very good, so I think that was our best one. But yeah, so yeah, we end up with just like a lot of people leaving, so it's kind of problematic. So we only got to do a few pulls on this particular boss. It was a lot of fun though. We this felt undertuned compared to the other boss, but I think the other boss just like it felt so much easier. I don't know, I wouldn't use undertuned, but yeah, it felt good. Um, but yeah, around the target they ran out. It's a pretty straightforward fight. I feel like this is for where it is in the fight. I feel like it's pretty easy. Um, Especially compared to the next boss. All right, let's jump over into the next boss, and we have a lot. I'm trying to. I don't think we do. So I mean, this is the room. It's super cool looking. I love it. I mean, I just love the pinkish purple rooms. They look so neat. Um, okay, we did do a pull. So this was our initial pull. I think we had like no healers. But yeah, so this is not Broodkeeper, Bloodkeeper, Ovi'Nax, or Brood Twister. Sorry, Blood Twister. I have Brood Twister, but I don't think it's that. I think it's Blood Twister. Hang on, Blood Twister Ovi'Nax. Let me change the name of my dog again. Yeah, so it's Blood Twister Ovi'Nax. Sorry. Not gonna cut out my mistakes. I'm just gonna post the video as is. But yeah. So we're doing this. And did we do it? No, we didn't do a ready check yet. We're waiting. I think we're deciding on whether or not what we're gonna do because we keep having problems with. Yeah, we do still have a healer. Okay, so we're still okay. Uh-oh, hang on.
5, 4,
There we go.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so a couple of things is the room is split into 3 circles, and we eventually do experiment with this, but not on this poll because we're just, you know what? I'll wait. I'll just narrate this poll. So yeah, we discovered that the tank swap mechanic, you can only have 1 volatile concoction on you. If you have more than that, it really, really hurts. So you need to swap out each one. But the boss does some weird patterning stuff. Because the boss will just go off and go feed. And then it does that. So once the boss feeds, it will start to hemorrhage every 7.5 seconds, and with it comes a reverberate. Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do about the reverberate. You just have to heal through it. We tried seeing if it was maybe because like of the black goo or something, but no, it's just because he fed. But you can't stop him from feeding because that's part of the mechanic.
Defensive.
Yeah, volatile concoction. Once it's on you, you gotta move. People can't be around you. So I mainly just left that up to it's everyone else's problem and not mine. But really, yeah, you don't want to be near the tank, especially when you get volatile concoction. But once volatile concoction's on you, you gotta run away. You should be running away from the group and going to pick up the spider ads. I feel like isn't necessarily a bad idea. But that can be there. I mean, this is really, it's, someone described it as like Broodkeeper, but with more shit. And I actually kind of agree. It's Broodkeeper, but instead of 1 tank on ads and 1 tank on the boss, it's both tanks get to interact with both sides. You're just swapping back and forth. Okay, so a couple of things that we will come to experiment and learn so the room is split into 3 different circles, and the eggs are different things. So the big eggs are the spiders, which are the tank things. The medium-sized eggs here are the worms, and then the small ones here are the parasites. And if you look around, there's a different amount of eggs in different areas. So this area is the worm-heavy area. This is the parasite-heavy area, and this is the spider-heavy area. So you can control where the boss starts. So you can kind of build a... I don't know if I want to say build a boss. That's not quite that. But you get to pick kind of what your main focus on ads are. Um, so yeah, you want to go either like you can start on anyone that you want. We end up starting here for the most part. I drag it over here to start ones just to test if we can do it, and we can. Um, but for the most part, we start here, and then we mark. Uh, the eggs have been marked on which ones are going to be broken. So people go get a mechanic on them. Hang on, I get the name of it. Look, I can remember. Experimental dosage is what you want. It's a circle that's around you, and then you go over to one of the eggs, and then you drop it on the egg to hatch it. And you want to hatch it before black blood oozes to it. At a certain point, I get bored, and I run away to go... Yeah, I run away to go explore. Super pretty. Okay, we end up doing a no healer pull. Or one healer pull or something. I don't know. Whatever, how many healers we have. I think we don't have any healers.
3, 2.
So we're just doing a few pulls to see how far we get. And then I'll kind of fast forward to our last healer pull. I think our last 2 healer pull, because we kind of get the hang of it a little bit more. So, yeah, you have that.
Special coming.
And then you just got to go while it's ingesting blood. There's nothing for you to do, really. This will be a good ad cleanup part. So when you get to the second set, we never really got past the first our first area. Just too many problems with healers and stuff. But yeah, so you have the arrow over you in the circle, and then you go stand at the egg, and you can hatch it. And you want to hatch, and it is indeed you want to hatch the eggs before they have a chance to mutate. So people are running out with their big circles. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. We're gonna go through. We had some no healer pulls. I think eventually we get more people. Yeah, let's do this pull here.
1.
Yeah, so we're pulling in. And this is going on. Heading to boss a bunch. The boss wheels, so the boss does auto move over to whichever one is closest to. So as long whatever circle it's in, it's fine. You don't have to necessarily move it close, and I think it's fine to just kind of tank it wherever, so long as it's in the proper circle, and you're all good. So just dodge all of that, and then taunt right away afterwards, because as soon as it finishes feeding, it puts another volatile concoction on the tank, and that takes a little bit of time to fall off. So there it goes. Yeah, and so we have a bunch of the parasites that are going out. We did learn that you can CC the parasites, so you definitely want to do that. The other things, the worms appear to be immune to CCing. Unclear on the tank spiders, but I don't think you can CC the tank spiders. I tried, and then we didn't end up moving. The spider just stayed in one spot, but I don't think that was because of the entanglement that I used. I think it was just because it wasn't being moved, because the other tank taunted and brought the spider and the boss together, and I feel like that's a mistake, just because of the bite, and especially if it mutates and you get the necrotic wound, that's going to make it even worse, on top of the volatile concoction. So I definitely think, tank-wise, it's a mistake to have both. I think you want one tank to pick up one and one tank to pick up the other. And at one point, like, I was finally like, I'm going to do my job, and I did do my job, and then the other tank went and chained the other tank chained the spider over, and it's just like, that's not a good idea, because vicious bite still really hurts. So you want one tank with vicious bite, one tank with the concoction. I think it's not a big deal to have the concoction on you and the spider bite eventually on you. I don't know. It's I think it's going to take a little bit more playing around, and unfortunately, we just didn't really have the group to be able to do as much testing as we necessarily wanted to. Just kind of jumping into this one here. So this is the one I believe where we went and we tested
Special coming.
a different location. Oh no, no, the same location. Never mind. That was probably earlier. Because we have all the marked eggs still.
Defensive.
So I think what you probably want to do, just based on this, but I mean, it really depends on the group. You can handle this so many different ways. It just depends on your CCs, but I feel like letting the parasites mutate isn't bad. Because you can CC those and nuke them down. So it's not necessary. If you have enough CCs in your group, you'd probably want to let the parasites mutate, and then as soon as they hatch, just CC them right away. Like once they mutate. So getting the worms down is big, but getting the spider down, just based on the damage it's taking for tanks, and this is from a tank main perspective, you probably want to make sure that you, I feel like you want to make sure that you, oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I feel like you want to get those down quickly. Especially in the areas there, but I feel like it really depends on the area. Like, if you're in the parasite heavy area, why not, make sure the parasites go down fast. And then whatever the least of is there, maybe you let that mutate. It's hard to say without, like, getting to see the rest of the fight, but again, we only made it to, like, the first set. But the black blood that's going out there, so you can see it's spreading out, and you saw that egg hatch. So that's how that's working. It's slowly filling up the circle of the room. We kind of theorized about that too, like how we figure it'll work. And we figure it'll be, the circle will eventually fill up, and then you move to the next one, and then you're gonna, that fill up, move to the next one, and then you spend the remainder of the last part of the fight in the middle of the room, where there isn't anything, just all stacked. So yeah, I'm still trying to, so that was me trying to figure out the reverberation. Reverberation, we figure, seems like there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta heal through it. There's just so much healing that happens in this. I'd say you probably want to take more healers than you think you need. Just because of how bad that is. Reverberation just keeps happening. There's nothing you can do about it. So much damage. But yeah, that is the 3 bosses that was up for testing today, and the last bosses that will be up aren't this week, but they'll be next week. Or not, like, not next week, but the week after. And it's gonna be pulling that up. It's gonna be Sirkin, captain of the Sikrin, captain of the Sureki, and then it's also going to be Silken Court, I believe. Yeah, the Silken Court. And those will be the last 2 for heroic testing, and then they'll be moving on to like mythic testing and also normal. This raid, I think, is, I mean, let me take you back a little bit. Like, I went and I did a little bit of exploring, and like, it is so cool. Like, just looking around, it looks so cool. I absolutely love the way this raid looks. I think it's going to be so fun to navigate, and I'm super excited for normal. I think normal testing is going to be a lot of fun. I feel like normal testing will also be easier to fill, just because it'll be like throughout a weekend, so you can pick like a Saturday and fill up a group, and just go test the 7 bosses, because the last boss is not up for that. But yeah, I like that. But yeah, so this is, it's a super cool raid. Like, the whole place looks cool. I'm excited to navigate through it. I'm hoping to get some wicked screenshots, and that'll be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to the new raid. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this video, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, I think. For, well, I still have to get Silken Court that done. So that'll be up next week, and then the week after, it'll be like next week one video, and then after that, it'll be well, that video, and then it'll be probably a revised full quick strat guide, maybe. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but I gotta do some revision videos, based from the raid testing. So yeah, and I gotta revise some of the strats here and whatnot. So I think it's a lot. Next week is just a lot of revision based on these bosses that I've been able to test. Unfortunately, Ulgrax I'm not able to, so I still don't know quite what that's gonna look like. And I wish that they'd put it up for testing again for Herc, but they're not. I don't think. So Mythic will have to be it. But yeah, so next week there'll be at least one video, and then the week after it'll be like the last two bosses for raid testing. So there'll be at least one. There'll be at least one more of these. If not, maybe some more for Mythic testing. We'll see. All right, thank you for joining. Bye.